Welcome back to The Law Show. I'm attorney Brian Dailey, broadcasting live from high atop the Law Show studios in Windy City, Chicago, answering all your legal questions at 855-LAW-SHOW. That's 855-529-7469. All you have to do is call right now, and we'll get into your legal matter. We'll answer your questions. We provide this service so that people don't have to take time off work to come into the city and sit down with a lawyer. We want you to get to know us right now. So call us right now. We'll answer your legal question. If you don't want to go on the air, follow the prompts to leave a message, and I'll get back with you, usually within a couple of hours. You can also email your questions to questions@thelawshow.com. If you want, or you're going to be near a computer, or you are near a computer, tune into thelawshow.com and click on the Watch Live Video link, and you will see yours truly answering legal questions. You can also hear that at the bottom of the hour. Deborah Crane is going to be joining us from our studio, and she's going to be answering legal questions about family law, divorce, child custody, child support, guardianship, conservatorship, things like that, grandparents' rights, how to make your ex pay their fair share of the college tuition costs, which is something you got to get on right now because college is going to start in October, or August or September, and you don't want to wait until after it starts to go to court to get this thing taken care of. You want to get it taken care of now, get it all ship-shape, in line, so you know what you can count on. The other thing I'm going to tell everybody is something I tell everybody every single week, and that is if you have even the slightest inkling that you may have some sort of a legal matter, you got to get into a lawyer right away, preferably a lawyer like the Dailey Law Firm lawyers who don't charge for the initial consultation, to find out if you have a case, and if you have a case, what are the time requirements within which you must bring that case. It's called the statute of limitations or the statute of repose. The legislature only gives us so much time to exercise our legal rights, and if we don't, they assume that we don't care about it, and they eliminate our ability after a certain period of time. For example, if you've been injured in Illinois, you've got 2 years to pursue an injury claim there. If you have been injured in Michigan, you have a 3-year statute of limitations to pursue an injury claim. If you've been injured in Michigan in a medical malpractice, you've got 2 years. Every single state has medical malpractice statutes of limitations and injury statute of limitations, contract statute of limitations, fraud statute of limitations. Whatever it is you think you have, you need to get in touch with a lawyer right away, and we're here to help you do that if you like. Call us now at 855-529-7469. That's 855-529-7469. If you've got a legal question about any particular matter, it doesn't really matter what it is. We've got your answers. If we don't have your answer, we know how to get it, or you don't really need it. That is our answer. So we're going to talk to Elaine now. She's on the phone. Elaine, you're on the Law Show.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What can I do for you, Elaine?
My question is, my husband had medical treatment a few years ago, and the company I worked for, I had medical insurance, and they set it up as a third-party payer.
Yes.
And the insurance company issued the check to my company, and the company never forwarded the check to the doctor's office, and now I'm in collections for that payment.
How do you know that your employer received that payment?
It was verified by the insurance company.
Why did the insurance company do that?
That's how my company had it set up.
So what is the amount that we're talking about?
It's a third-party payer.
Yeah, what is the amount that we're talking about?
It's just under $4,000.
Okay. So what you've got is you've got a small claim action, and it's not really anything that you want to get a lawyer involved with because it's going to cost you too much money. You need to go to the small claims court and file suit against your former employer. Is it your former employer or your current employer?
Former employer.
Okay. Have you called them to find out what their position is on it?
I have, but I cannot get any answers. No one will call me back. No one will even answer their phone.
No kidding. Are they still in business?
Yes. Yes, they are.
They are still in. What kind of a business is it? Don't say the name.
They are air movement manufacturers.
What does that mean? They make fans?
Yes, like for your cars, the fan for your air conditioning and so forth.
Yeah. Well, what I would do is I would send them a letter certified and first class. That way you know that they got it. Because sometimes when you send certified mail, they don't pick it up, right? So you want to send certified and first class mail. Everybody assumes that the first class mail is going to work. And you send it to the manager of the company or the owner of the company, and tell them that he's got 30 days to pay the doctors. And if he doesn't pay the doctors, you're going to sue him. Now, you may be able to sue him anyway for damaging your credit, placing you into collections.
Yes.
For not paying those doctors. And that's something that you want to check out. But start with calling them or sending them a letter. Give them, make it 14 days, okay? And then if that doesn't get you anywhere, maybe Brian Russell at my office could drop a letter in the mail to him and straighten them out a little bit. And we don't charge very much for just a lawyer letter like that. Beyond that, I don't think you really want to get into that in terms of pursuing from a legal standpoint with a lawyer because it's going to be too expensive for you. But we'll sit down and talk with you about it and tell you what your options are, okay?
Okay, I greatly appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome. If there's anything else I can do for you, call me at 855-529-7469. We're here 24 hours a day. We'll be right back. And we're going to talk to Mary now. Mary, you're on the Law Show.
Hi, how you doing?
Fine. What can I do for you, Mary?
I was the legal guardian of my brother who had Down syndrome.
Yes.
And he passed away in January. And he was on Medicare and Medicaid.
Yes.
And I'm receiving, bills from when he was in the hospital, and they amount up to about $1,800.
Okay.
And none of the bills are coming in my name. I've saved them, and it's showing on their responsible party his name.
Right.
And I'm just wondering, since now they're going to collection, is there any possibility that I could be responsible for those bills?
Not if you didn't sign as responsible for the bills. So if you never signed the document, whenever anybody goes in the hospital or to a doctor, there's forms that you have to sign. And one of the forms is who's going to be responsible. So if you never signed as responsible, then you can't be held responsible. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not going to try to hold you responsible. Okay? There's all kinds of unscrupulous bill collectors out there. You got to be really careful. Just because somebody says you owe something doesn't mean you do. Check the facts. Tell them to send you copies of your signature so that you can determine that it, in fact, is your signature if it is. And if it's not your signature, you don't owe it. But in this case, you should send a copy of the death certificate of your brother to each one of the persons that is billing you, okay? And tell them that he passed away and that they should seek their compensation from Medicare or Medicaid, right?
Well, Medicare and Medicaid already paid their portion. So the part of the bill that I'm receiving is the portion that they didn't pay.
Okay. Well, what you can do is you can just go ahead and crunch those up and throw them away or burn them or whatever you want. But if you want to get them off your back, what you do is you send them a copy of your brother's death certificate, and that should fix everything for you, okay?
Okay. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Make sure and call the Law Show if I can do anything else for you. I'm Brian Dailey. I'm broadcasting live from high atop the Law Show studios in the Windy City, Chicago, answering all your legal questions at 855-529-7469. That's 855-LAW-SHOW. At the bottom of the hour, we're going to have Deborah Crane join us. She's my associate in Chicago, handling family matters, family law matters. And that includes divorce, custody, child support, paternity. There's all kinds of things that come up in family court. And she's very good at it. That's really all she does. That's all she's done for 25 years. She's very good and very effective, and she is, I think, actually a Cook County court mediator down there, and she helps people who can't afford lawyers get through that process. She's got a particular expertise at handling matters involving very high net worth individuals. Always when you've got a lot of money to fight over, there's going to be a big fight, and she knows how to take those matters on and reduce the fight and make it go quickly so you don't spend all your money on lawyers and you can keep your money and split it up, okay? So if you want to talk to Deborah Crane today, at the bottom of the hour, call 855-529-7469. That's 855-LAW-SHOW. I want to mention also that there's a lot of foreclosure going on in Cook County and all over the counties, all over Illinois. And we are handling foreclosure defense all over the country, having good results at it, as a matter of fact. And there are theories that you can raise in defense of a foreclosure in Illinois that may result in you getting your loan modification or in you getting a reduction of principal or, at the very least, staying in your home for a significant period of time without making any payments because of this organization called MERS, Mortgage Electronic Registration System. So just because somebody thinks that that you owe them, or they think that they can file foreclosure. Just because somebody does file foreclosure doesn't mean that you have to move out. And so you got to be really, really careful. And everybody thinks that you have a 7-month redemption period during which you can stay in the home. If you don't answer the foreclosure complaint, they're going to default you, and that means you lose because you didn't show up. Once they default you, they file a motion. These are the big banks. They file a motion to ask the judge to give them immediate occupancy and shorten that 7-month redemption period. So you may not have 7 months. So it doesn't cost anything to call the Daily Lawyers at 855-529-7469 to find out what you can do, and I highly recommend that you do that. We're going to go to the phones again. We're going to talk to Mike. Mike, you're on the Law Show.
Hi, how are you doing?
Fine. What can I do for you, Mike?
I've been contemplating or just really wanting to question about potential class action litigation.
Okay.
And here's what I'm thinking about. When you go to a gas station, you have the option typically of buying a car wash with your fill-up. And the issue that I have is that nowhere posted anywhere does it say that it expires in any amount of time. But
you got a good point, Mike. You got a good point. And class action litigation is always very difficult. You got to start with what is a reasonable basis upon which to bring a claim for a class action. In other words, you got to have a wrong, and then you got to be able to identify the group that has been wronged. And identifying people who have purchased car washes that expire within 30 days of the purchase or within 15 days of the purchase may be kind of difficult because you don't have to put your name and phone number. There's no way to identify what that group is. So you got a good idea, and I think I would pursue it. And as a matter of fact, we can connect you with one of the best class action litigation firms in Chicago, Cafferty Fauché. Very, very good firm, very top flight, very well respected all over the country for handling class action matters. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll be answering all your legal questions at 855-529-7469. That's 855-LAW-SHOW or questions@thelawshow.com. We'll be right back.